Kia ora everyone, I'm TJ. Welcome back to New Zealand Mysteries. If you are new around here and you want to become part of a compassionate, caring community who want to raise awareness about cases and seek answers for victims and their families, you are in the right place. So please hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and please share it where you can. If you are a returning subscriber, many thanks, and I do appreciate each and every one of you. Today, we're going to talk about another beautiful young Māori woman that has gone missing here in New Zealand. Her name is Leonie Emery. She's a mother of 5 children and has been missing since January 2018. We're going to see how we can help. Stick around after, as I have an update on Jamie Kawai. Alright, let's get into it, guys.
Police are releasing new information as part of a renewed public appeal into the disappearance of Auckland woman Leonie Emery. Leonie was reported missing to police in February 2019, but was last seen by her family in January 2018. She would have been 26 years old when she was last seen by her family. Given the long period of time since she was reported missing and the lack of contact, police and Leonie's family have grave concerns for her welfare. Police have been investigating her disappearance since she was reported missing, and further inquiries have now cited Leonie in Ngarawahia on 26 January 2018. We did not previously have this information or sighting, so it is extremely relevant to our investigation. We believe she travelled to Ngarawahia on 12 January 2018. We're very interested in finding out how she travelled there and her movements during the period 12 to 26 January 2018. Police are keeping an open mind as to the circumstances surrounding Leonie's disappearance, and this is still being treated as a missing persons case. Police have carried out significant inquiries into Leonie's disappearance, and we are determined to find out what has happened to her and provide her family with some form of closure. Anyone with information can report this via 105 or by contacting Crimestoppers.
So this was released by the county's Manukau Police on the 17th of August, so just a few days ago, and we're going to break down the information. I have been wanting to cover Leonie's story for a long time, but there really has not been the information that I could put in a video. There's been nothing really, to be honest, but this is what I have been able to find out in the last couple of years. This is all I knew about what happened to her. We're at police.govt.nz. Leonie Emery, date of disappearance 9th of January 2018. She's a Māori and she was living in Auckland. Leonie has not been in contact with family since January 2018. She was last seen in Paidoa on 28th of the 2nd, 2018, which is wrong. Well, from what we see in the new information, it's wrong. If you have any information concerning Leonie Emery, please contact 105 or Crimestoppers, which is 0800 555 111, reference number 190222/9022. So let's see what has brought this case finally to the attention of the public. Also remember that everything I read is going to be in the description box below, so if you want to look more into some of the links that I have or some of the stories, you can do that yourself by going to the description box. Right, let's get into it. Okay, we're at stuff.co.nz, and this was written on August the 17th. Missing woman Leonie Emery last seen in Ngarawahia. This is by Mina Kerr-Lazenby. New information relating to the disappearance of missing woman Leonie Emery has emerged, following a public call-out police issued on Monday. Leonie is a mother of 5 and was reported missing in February 2019, but hasn't been seen by her family since January 2018. She was just 26 years old, so she's a really young mum, and there's 5 kids missing their mum. On Monday, Detective Sergeant Rob Hunkin said she had last been seen in a North Waikato town in Kawai, a small community outside Huntly. We're actually going to go and have a look soon at where these places are. She had travelled there from South Auckland with friends around New Year 2017, he had said. Her last known address was in Bombay, rural South Auckland. Further inquiries have now placed Leonie in Narrowahia on January the 26th to 18, with police believing she travelled to the Waikato town on January the 12th, 2018. We did not previously have this sighting or information, so it is extremely relevant to our investigation, said Hunkin on Tuesday. He also said that police are very interested in finding out how she travelled to Narrowahia and what her movements were between January the 12th to the 26th in 2018. We are also very keen to hear from anyone who saw Leonie in the Narrowahia area or knows anything about her disappearance. He said it may have been that she has left Narrowahia, so we're also hoping anyone who has any information on Leonie's whereabouts will get in touch with us urgently. Leonie had spent time working as a farmhand and in the months before her disappearance had worked as a truck driver. Leonie's mum said she had never given up on searching for her and would keep going until she was found. Hunkin said police are keeping an open mind as to the circumstances of Leonie's disappearance, and this is still being treated as a missing persons case. Okay, so they threw a few towns. Now, I know I always do this backwards. So this is the North Island of New Zealand. She lived here in Auckland, and down here is those places that she mentioned. And well, that was mentioned. So they said that she was known to be in this place, which is just outside of Huntly. And then now they've got new information that places her down here in Narrowahia. If we look at this view, I mean, there's a big sort of, Hamilton's a big town, so it's a little way out. There's not much out there in the country. Quick thing about Narrowahia, it is a town in the Waikato region of the North Island of New Zealand. Narrowahia is in the Hamilton urban area, the fourth largest urban area in New Zealand, and it had a population of 6,621 at the 2018 New Zealand census. So not an overly big place.
She's never left the news and there's been no police press conferences. But it's been 3 years since Leonie Emery disappeared. And her whānau are desperate for answers. Tell me what it's like not knowing what's happened to your daughter.
Sad, really.
I'm gonna cry. It's alright.
This is really tough to watch. Now this is newshub.co.nz. Missing woman Leonie Emery. Police believe she was alive for at least 3 weeks after family lost contact. This was released on the 16th of the 8th, 2021 by Mahinga Rangi Forbes. Just quickly before we go on, if you have any information about the cases I cover, including this one, you can call Crimestoppers 0800 555 111. It's anonymous. You can call 105 or go online or just go to your local police station. Any case suggestions, nzmissing@gmail.com. Please go to our Facebook page. We have an amazing community there that share these stories out to reach as many New Zealanders as possible. We need to flush out people that have this information, so that's so important to be shared. If you can support the channel with a $3 donation or $100 or 100 coffees, I should say, whatever you like, to help me with the new computer fund, please go to buymeacoffee.com/NZ Mysteries. There is other ways to donate in the description box. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit all on the bell so you get any updates, and share the story where you can. Alright, let's get back into it. I will have the rest of the interview in the link in the description box if you want to go and have a look. Police have revealed new information in the case of missing mother of 5, Leonie Emery, following her disappearance in early 2018. In an exclusive interview with the Hui, police now believe she was alive for at least 3 weeks after her whānau lost contact with her on January the 2nd. They have also traced her last known movements of the 25-year-old to the small Waikato town of Huntly. Leonie's mum has spent the past 3 years searching small North Island towns trying to find information. She has spent a lot of time thinking about the circumstances surrounding her death because Leonie would have never left her 5 children. She was a good mum. She loved her children, her mum said. She has been critical of the police's investigation of her daughter's disappearance. Besides a missing persons post and an appearance on Police 10-7, there has been no press conferences or fresh appeals for information. And sadly, we have seen this before, also in the case of a young Māori woman that has gone missing. And there's a lot of people are thinking that Māori women do not get the attention as other missing people do. And we've sort of seen that before, but we're going to talk a bit more about that later on. When the hui met with her, Emery hadn't talked to the police for more than a year. The detective in charge of the case, Rob Hunkin, says the young woman's disappearance is something they take incredibly seriously. He said, "We want her to be assured that we are committed to finding out what's happened to Leonie," he says. Detective Hunkin met with her mum last week and says police appreciate that it's the worst case scenario her family could be going through. He said, "But for a variety of reasons, we can't always communicate everything we know to maintain the integrity of the investigation," he said. What the police were able to tell Emery is that her daughter was dropped off in Papakura on January the 12th, 2018, which is in Auckland. She then went to Ngaruawahia, and the last confirmed sighting of her was in Huntly on January 26, 2018. You know, it's funny when you go to different news sources, and we only have like 2 in New Zealand, but they say something a little different on each one, and that makes it just a little bit hard to get accurate information. The police are appealing for anyone who saw her in either Ngaruawahia or Huntly on or around these dates to come forward. Any information could help the case, her mum said. "Somebody knows something. If she is dead, let me know where she is. She needs to be put to rest." Very, very sad. So a very, very sad story. And for me, you know, there was no information. I've been looking for information to cover this case for a long time, and I have not been able to find enough. Even now, this is a very small video, because the few places that actually I can go to for reports are all saying the same thing mostly, and then you get a couple of them that are saying a little bit different information about where she was last seen. But we know Huntly and Ngaruawahia are the areas that they are interested in. Please call 0800 555 111 if you have any information. We need to bring this girl home for her family. She needs to be put to rest so they can get some peace and some closure. Let's go on to a bit of an update about missing young Māori woman Jamie Kawai.
She had the most giving heart, but above all, she loved her son. She was a mother before anything else. Being a mother was her superpower.
So another really moving video. We're at stuff.co.nz. Police to review investigation into the case of missing Tolaga Bay woman Jamie Kaiwai. This was released on August the 16th, around the same time as they're starting to release information about Leonie. This was by Georgia May Gilbertson. It's been nearly 2 years since Tolaga Bay woman Jamie Kawai vanished, and now the Independent Police Conduct Authority has asked police to review the investigation into the case. Now, I'm going to link the video I done about this case down below. And one of the things we looked into that case was whether the police failed this family and failed Jamie in their investigation into her disappearance. The 27-year-old mother of one went missing in October 2019. Police previously said the case into Kawai's disappearance remains open and active, but her disappearance was not being treated as suspicious. So remember that, her disappearance was not being treated as suspicious. Kawai's first cousin, Janique, said in March this year she made a formal complaint to the IPCA about the way Kawai's case had been investigated by the Gisborne police. The complaint has resulted in the IPCA asking police to review the investigation and notify the authority of the findings. I think this is absolutely great. In a statement, the authority confirmed it received and assessed a complaint about the police investigation into the death of Jamie, but it, quote, did not result in the initiation of an independent investigation, unquote. The authority agreed with police that they should review the investigation and upon completion would notify the authority of their findings. A police spokeswoman said it would be inappropriate for police to comment on any matter referred to the IPCA. Jamie's whānau also have set up a Give a Little page earlier this year to raise $100,000 for their own private investigation into Jamie's disappearance, with more than $54,000 raised so far. So I will find that link and put it down below in the description box. But it bothers me that a family would have to raise this amount of money for a private investigation because the police stuffed it up. It's not right. I requested all COB and police training modules through the Official Information Act, and I wasn't surprised to find that the police failed to follow their own training and how they should investigate a missing person under these circumstances, Janique said. And I tell you what, she's all over social media, this girl. She does not give up. She wants answers. She's doing an amazing job at keeping Jamie's story in the limelight. Jamie went missing during the Tuia 250 commemorations, a celebration marking 250 years since the first onshore encounters between Māori and Pākehā. The beach was busy and the bay full of boats. Jamie's car was found in the car park near Tolaga Bay's 660 metre wharf. Blood was found in her room at the Tolaga Bay Inn, and her car, along with damp clothes, was found. The keys were in the ignition, and her wallet and cigarette were in the car, items she'd always carry with her. I'm a former smoker, and I would never go anywhere without my ciggies. The whānau said at the time that no forensic investigation was conducted in her room or her car. Jamie's room was originally taped off by police but not locked. The room was later cleaned, meaning the family would never know how she left it. Her cousin said forensics were eventually sent away 5 months later. Detective Senior Sergeant Kevin Ford previously said some clothing belonging to Jamie Kawai was sent away for forensic testing, but the result was consistent with other evidence and did not raise any new area of concern for police. Janique said her whānau hoped that Kaiwai's Jamie's loss wouldn't be in vain. We miss her every day, we love her, and we talk about her often to our kids. It's interesting to me that they announced that the police are doing an investigation into Jamie's case, and the information about Leonie is coming out at the same time. Just an observation, might not mean anything at all, but yeah. If you have seen or you know any information about any of these two beautiful young women, please get in touch with the police. Do it anonymously if you have to. 0800 555 111 for Crimestoppers. They need to put their loved ones to rest, these girls to rest. They need a little bit of closure, a little answer, a little peace, and please share this as far and wide as you can, because we really want to flush out some information for these families. I hope that now the spotlight has been shined on the way police investigate cases of young Māori people going missing, or in general. I hope that it's not a trend that continues, that they get the same same attention than anyone else does. Please be kind to each other. Stay safe out there. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much, guys.